Good evening. I'll change that real quick. How are you? How are you all? What have we got this guy? Swashbucklin, that'll do. We don't need the poll anymore. We know what we're drawing. Guys, how are you? We're a little bit early tonight, because why not, right? So, I thought, let's get on with this goo guy. But guys, let me know how all your weeks have gone. It's been very productive for me so far. Work is absolutely flying by. The entire week is absolutely flying by. Yeah, so we have a slightly different drawing today, so it's not strictly represented in D&D, but our Ooze, what do you call him? Not Ifrit, Ganassi, our slime boy. It's gonna be interesting to draw the internals of this little guy, because he is transparent. Let's crack on, shall we? I thought we'd give him some, not hair, but basically hair. Let me know what you guys think of the music tonight as well. I'm not 100% sold on it. It's a little bit trancey for my taste. Right. So we want to give him like very, like, still masculine, but kind of soften those features out a little bit. Because he is made of slime, jelly, whatever you want to call it. Dragon, how's it going, my dude? Yes, the Ooze boy. He ended up being an absolute cutie. Show me the ooziest boy. So here he is, the swashbuckler. How's your week been going, my dude? It's so drippy, so cute. He is. He's got some boyish charm to him. It's been good, man. I've been learning proper like how all the Discord server stuff works. Over the weekend, I managed to top that 200 follower goal. So now it's up to me to make that server, and it's most of the way there. But it still needs some tinkering with. But it means that we're on to the next like follower goal at 250 of doing a Dwarven hot tub stream. Now it's not me in a hot tub; it's me drawing a Dwarven hot tub, which I'm actually really excited for. Oh my. Dude, it's gonna be so good. I already know. Like, I haven't done the sketch for it yet, because I know it's probably not gonna be for a while. Like, I think like everyone else at the moment, I'm not accruing followers like at any sort of like rocket speed. But I am excited for it. It should be good fun. So it's basically going to be. Do you remember that scene in The Witcher? I think it's in the games as well. It's sort of like a nod to it, where it's Geralt in like the wooden like barrel tub, where he's got his arms up on the back and he's sort of just chilling out. Yeah, it's going to be that, but it's going to be a dwarven woman with like a big pile of like armor behind her, like she's in like a big sauna type thing, like a little like damp towel on top of her head, and then like just the hair and the beard all falling down into the water, like tendriling out. I'm really excited to get the sketch done for it. That poll has ended, Streamlabs, so we can turn that off actually. Yeah, Streamlabs, go home, you're drunk. Was it Stream? Yeah, Streamlabs. Commands. No, it's timers. I very much do have some timers. Polls. Close poll. There we go. I can no longer vote on the poll. Neither can anyone else. Streamlabs is playing silly, saying I've got no timers. Okay. Wait. There we go. That's what we wanted. Swashbucklin Slime Boy was most voted. 81 and change. So that's why we're getting him done. But Dragon, my sweet, tell me, how are you doing? Imagine you're just at work at the moment. Hope the day is going well for you. No work today. Oh, bonus. So what have you got planned? I would hope that you're up to stuff. Got my cat a bow tie. Amazing. No plans, just vibing. It sounds like a plan. People always say, I'm not doing anything today, as if there's like a lack of something there. Doing nothing is an active thing. Are you going to be streaming at all? Right. Sans, dude, how's it going, man? I completely agree. Doing nothing is indeed a feat. Today, probably not. Slow down the streaming fun. I think that's fair. Because I remember you were streaming like almost every day. It was quite. It was quite the pace you had going. Sans, it's good to see you, dude. You're having the most fun rep farming for heritage armor. Is that a WoW thing? Reputation farming? I remember that was something that I used to do in WoW. It used to be even with followers, but I've shot ahead. Honestly, dude, I've been mad into like the networking game the past few weeks. So I've been trying to watch more while I'm at work. So if I'm able to just watch video, I used to just watch like endless like Netflix or Prime or Disney Plus or something like that. But now I try and alternate. Like I'll watch like a program or something like that in the morning, and then jump into like some streams over like sort of like mid-morning, afternoonish, and then to like end the workday, I'll go back into like Netflix and stuff. And actually, it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it because I've met a good few people, and actually learnt a lot as well. There's been some really good streamers that I've sort of started following more and more, and I've been really enjoying their content. It is a WoW thing. I thought it was. I remember doing all the reputation farming. It's like you have to kill certain enemies to gain standing with certain factions and stuff. It has been a time since I've been on WoW. I do wonder like how is WoW doing these days? Because I remember wasn't its following like dropping off somewhat? Oh, it's just the tabards. Okay, now it's coming back. Yes, you've got to rep their colours. I remember. So it's a relatively chill evening for you, Sans. Sans, where are you based? I can't remember. I know you from Honk's channel. Obviously, he's in Oz, but it's past bedtime in Oz now. You're in Sweden. Excellent. I actually don't know what the time difference is. It can't be that much. We're in Europe, just way further north than I am. Like plus a couple of hours. Any spoilers for the near future, by all means, like, divulge. Right, so we are... yeah, north and south doesn't affect time zones that much. Yeah, I figured as much. But yeah, I hope your week's going well, dude, and I hope the rep farming goes smooth. So this slime boy is actually based off an idea I came across on Twitter. Someone mentioned like so there are Ganassi in D&D, and they're all sort of like elemental humanoids. Obviously the main four elements, like the superstar elements. You've got your earth, your wind, your fire, your water. All the sort of like the Avatar: Last Airbender type elements. But something that's really cool and I think super underrepresented in D&D is the like the half planes. So so things like where the plane of fire, plane of water would meet, you get the plane of steam. So you get like steam elementals. And I like playing with a lot of that stuff in D&D, and then in between water and earth, you get either mud or sort of like the ooze plane of existence. So this would be a Ganassi with roots to that particular plane. A plane of sugar? I think there would be. You've got to have like it might not be like an elemental plane, but I would see it as like so if we're gonna go like into like theory crafting a world now, which I think is the direction we're gonna end up going. Plane of sugar. So like what does sugar mean to people? So it's a food stuff. It's quite well off. It's generally seen as like a good thing. So maybe a god of the harvest. Their like personal like demi-plane would be the plane of sugar, where all things are sort of like sweet and like healthy. Like not healthy, but like sweet and decadent. Like rivers of cream and like giant like crystalline formations of sugar. Or it could be a god of decadence. So if you wanted to take on like a more sinister bend, you've got that sort of like everything is there to the excess. It's very like 40k Slanesh. Like everything's amped up to the max. Like yeah, your first week is going to be great here because everything's made of sugar. But 6 months down the line, you've got no teeth and your blood pressure is going through the roof. I would bathe in a river of cream, Charlie and Chocolate Factory style. Absolutely, right? Or do you want to go the other way? There was it Vikings? I think it was Vikings. There was a punishment, which was basically you tie someone in a boat, dump it in the swamp, and you cover them in milk and honey. And basically they're eaten alive by bugs and pests to take on like a real negative spin on it. Welcome back, Dragon. We're talking about the plane of sugar and what that would be in our fantasy world that we're just sort of theory crafting. But I can't remember what it was actually called. Honey and milk. Yeah, plane of sugar. So like you've got the elemental planes. Yes, this is it. So like the ultimate like evil side of it is it's called scaphism. And it if I'm reading the Wikipedia right, which is always dubious, it's an alleged Persian method of execution, where a victim is between two boats, feeding and covering them with milk and honey and allowing them to fester and to be devoured by insects. Real nasty. But it's just a theory of torture and execution. It doesn't seem to be like much in the way of like proved instances. But if you want it to be like, it sounds like a right old time. You are absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's a nasty place. But, so I'm a big believer in like, just because something is traditionally good doesn't mean you have to use it as a positive in your games. So for example, in my D&D campaigns, I would happily use a red dragon as a good guy and a gold dragon as a bad guy. And still keep like their allegiances and like their classic like wants and needs. So if you look at like your average dragon in D&D, or your average gold dragon, they're very heroic. They're a fighter of the people. They are a paragon of like truth and justice and like eking out any sort of evil or anything like that. But that's very easy. That sounds like supervillain territory right there, where they've gone so far into it that they start harming innocent people. So like you get people who are like, you know, the whole like they were stealing a loaf of bread and they got their hand cut off, but they were stealing it to feed their starving family. Um, so like so what am I saying? No, it was so it's like using good guys as bad guys in D&D campaigns. Yes, exactly. Sans, you're absolutely spot on. That road to hell is paved in good intentions is spot on. So, like, every minor infraction of the law is punished, like, horrendously hard. So, like, put to death for the slightest infraction, regardless. Almost like an inquisition, like, any perceived slight can be jumped upon by, like, the authorities. So in that way, like a gold dragon, a good like D&D force in like traditional senses, can be that negative. And in the same way, I want to use. I've not had the chance, but I want to use a red dragon as a good heroic character. And it's all about what the dragon chooses as its horde. So red dragons traditionally very covetous. They like treasure. Their horde is always like the most pristine, and it's usually like a gold dragon will know exactly where every single coin in their mountain of treasure came from. It'll be impeccably clean. They'll know exactly its history. They'll know where it is at every time. But what's to say that a red dragon covets gold? What if it just covets people? So a red dragon covets people. The population of its country, its territory, is its horde. It's going to treat those people very, very well because it doesn't want to rule over the starving masses, because that doesn't... Who wants a shitty horde like that? They want their horde, which is the people, to be impeccably dressed, fantastically healthy. They want them to be absolute paragons. They want not just the biggest horde, but the best horde. So people there are fantastically educated. They are... Every need is tended to. Everyone has a fresh haircut, clean clothes. They have enough food to fill them up. They have all the opportunities to keep themselves physically and mentally sharp. The caveat is, you are never allowed to leave, because you are essentially still property to this dragon. You are part of its horde. So as long as you want to stay, like, everything will be tended to, but you have to stay. There's no leaving. So I think that would be like a really good way to paint like a good guy who is fending off like barbarian attacks to his kingdom, but not because he wants to save lives. It's because that's his treasure. They're not taking his coinage, they're taking his people. So he sort of fulfills that good contact for the party. And I love shit like that. Because you still have them being like true to form, but it's just you using them in weird ways. I have used illithids and mind flayers in a similar way, where like they can eat brains of people, but they can also exist on the brains of lesser creatures. So things like cattle, things like that. Basically taking the waste product of animals that the rest of the population might not use or want. So they have a way of fitting into society, even though they are monstrous. And people may still treat them differently because they are strange creatures. But it means that socially, you can now have these weird creatures interacting in society in a meaningful way, other than just they are the enemy to be exterminated. So, like, to get back to the plane of sugar, doesn't have to be a good place, even though sugar is typically seen as like quite a good thing. Man, just talking about this, I haven't created like a world in so long. You just want to corrupt good things with Dark Twisty Monster. You've called me out. Yeah, that's basically it. It's because I'm an edgy boy and I like the weird shit to be good and the good shit to be bad. Just thinking like hot molten sugar. Like, yeah, that stuff is lethal. That'll fuck you up if you're not careful. So, absolutely would be like a horrific thing to be stuck in. Because molten sugar has to be fucking hot. Or like a sugar mound you just sink into, or like quicksand. Yeah, I can see like quicksand. I mean, it's basically edible sand as it is. Yeah, 1000 degree camera. Yeah, it's not fun. Don't touch the melted sugar. It's a bad time. He's a good kid. Yes, you're technically right. All sand is edible. It just depends on your force of will, I reckon. I thought heading into a raid to do a run and gain rep, but I don't gain rep in a raid, only in dungeons. Oh, dude. What's the difference? I thought raids were like the level up from dungeons. So dungeons were a little bit like more casual, lower stakes or something like that. Unless it changed that at all. Raid is a dungeon on steroids. Yes, that's how I remember it. Like you can fuck around in a dungeon, but you can't fuck around in a raid. Is how I think I remember it. Man, I haven't played World of Warcraft in fucking years. I think last I dealt with it was Wrath of the Lich King. Maybe Cataclysm. I remember Cataclysm a little bit. I was, shockingly enough, just your classic night elf hunter with a fucking white tiger, because of course I was. I was in my early 20s and the edgiest boy around. What else would I be? Alliance scum. Yeah, well, isn't the Alliance and Horde basically one team now? They sort of melded everyone together. God, basic Alliance. Yeah. Oh yeah, like, I was like one of like 50 at any one time. All it was fuck around in raids. See, I can see kind of you being the most popular man alive in WoW. But yeah, I remember, didn't they bring the two sides together after an event or something like that? Like a few years ago. So like, you can have your beastmen and your undead fighting alongside your humans and your high elves. Or light elves, I can't remember what they call them. Did they not? Maybe I'm thinking of something else then. My brother Ninja pulls in dungeons, never in raids. Unless he wants to piss everyone off, so he's still Ninja pulls. It happens. I haven't played an MMO in so long. And the last one I got into was Final Fantasy 14. Whatever the current Final Fantasy one is. I can't remember if it's 14 or... no, yeah, it's 14. Oh man, They essentially had a truce deal with the Legion, then a war between Alliance and Horde again. Now a big fuck off threat is back and they can't fight each other. Okay. So they kind of settled the score a little bit, and then now they've gone back to not liking each other. In a classic, they always need to not get along way. Because I remember as a kid, like, if you met like new people, and you're like, oh, so what do you play? I'm like, ah, fuck, I'm Alliance. Well, I can't play with you because I'm Horde. blame Greymane. No, it's fair. Sylvanas is the end boss for the raid that drops next week. I know, I recognise the name Sylvanas as an important dude. Hang on. Oh, she was the leader of the undead. Ah. Yes, she is like basically the most night elf of the night elves. By looks of her. she's the white elf, the night elf that every night elf wanted to be. Oh, she was a high elf. I suppose she's purple, so I assume night elf, but she's like that lighter purple from what I'm seeing. Oh, she's blue in some art. Yeah. She's an undead. Yeah, that makes sense. That's very like visually confusing though for like someone like me who's just getting back into it is gonna make stumbles like that. I've seen like some art where she's blue. I'm gonna take the blue as canon rather than the purple because it's less confusing. Just in sort of like an art direction way. Like you, don't worry, she'll die soon. Well, if we can rely on you, Caleb, it's all on you. If anyone can get it done. Yeah, like, I'm seeing some artwork where she's blue, but there's some artwork where she's purple as well. And having not seen, like, too much of it in the game, then I only have, like, what turns up in Google image search for reference. So it seems like there's some sort of inconsistency there. I'm not playing, but the esports org I work for will kill her in a mythic before anyone else, I believe. Oh, so you know a guy that will kill her. So this goes from here, and then now we're going to join all these lines up. I know 20 guys all with multiple world first kills that are going to blast her for 18 hours a day until she's done so. I like the phrasing there. She's fucking just done so. I want to see that in a fantasy game now. It's fucking done so. Chosen a guild now. I'll ban it and get faster. Is there no like organised way to do it? You just gotta find people. Glasper, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. How's you even going? We're just inking our little cute Ooze boy. And if you're familiar with D&D and the like, so we've got like Ganassi who are like elementals. So this is our Ooze elemental. Got an alliance out to play with, some friends until we get a group big enough we're not able to make our own guild yet. Oh, that's rough, dude. So what's the minimum for a guild? Because I don't think I ever made one myself. It's absolutely the swashbuckling twink. But that's what we wanted. That's what we were going for. Like, he's cute as fuck. And a little bit squishy. And goopy. Can't believe he's not shirtless. Well, I didn't want him to be too much. I am, so if you look in the bottom corner, the current goal for follows at 250, I'm doing a hot tub stream. So there'll be someone there shirtless, for sure. I always end up, like, going against drawing, like, sexualized characters. Because there's so fucking much of it on the internet. I feel like I don't need to contribute. You know? What are you doing? That goes there. Also, does drawing smut go against Twitch's T's and C's? I believe it might. No, it's in a hot tub. That's very true. I'm seeing more and more reports of those hot tub titans. I don't know what you call them. Those like the queens of hot tubs getting banned as well. So they basically got put into their own category and now getting banned for various misdemeanors here and there. Who knows if these bans will stick or what have you. Revered and exalted. So you basically you're more done than not. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can do it. Just keep at it. I have faith. Only 10k. See? Only 10k. Right, this feather is going to be a struggle, I feel. See, you're almost exalted. The people love you. Your wallet is bursting full of gold. It's been a good day for you. Everything is going right for your character. Sans. How am I gonna... So these feathers are usually huge around here. Soon I will look dapper as fuck. And as a true adventurer, that is your only goal. And I respect that massively. Right, so we need to go over here. Nope, not liking that one. So this almost going up. Do wish rep was shared between characters, but not going to farm any others than this one. To be fair, that's one of the things I really liked about Final Fantasy 14 was you didn't need alts because they kind of feel a little bit archaic now. in the light of like other alts seem like an archaic process when you realize that you don't really, there are systems that allow you to just not have alts. So for I'm not going to assume anyone's uninitiated, but for those that are perhaps not, the way alts work in Final Fantasy 14 is you basically don't need them. Your job system or your class, you can switch out like freely. It's all just like a gem that gives you these powers that you level up with your experiences, or fantasy gubbins, like rules that mean nothing, but get like fancy rules that explain game mechanics. It all just kind of means nothing. But what it causes in the game is you basically have one character and that's it. And I get, excuse me, I get the downside is like if you want to play an elf, but sometimes you also want to play a dwarf. Like, you can't do that. You're stuck with your choice. But in terms of class, Becca, how's it going, dude? You're absolutely right. We're talking about Final Fantasy 14 and how the concept of alts are sort of archaic, like leftovers. But yeah, I've played a lot of Final Fantasy 14. I've liked pretty much all of it. It's the game that really got me into proper raiding, because the players were good. The game was idiot friendly enough so I could figure out what was going on, which is probably the most important thing. WoW, I could never quite get to grips with in like more serious areas, whereas I don't know. I think being able to jump around all the other classes a lot more allowed me to figure out where each specific class fits in a party. So, like, knowing firsthand what a white mage could do, I knew what a white mage was capable of when I'm playing something else. Whereas with something like WoW, like, I play a hunter, and I just kind of go on faith that's like, oh, the healer, the shaman or whatever, what are they called, is a healer, and they kind of do their thing, but it's kind of like, it's just sort of, I don't know, I trust them to do what it is, and I don't know what they need from me as a player, unless I've played it myself by building an alt, or I've been screamed at enough. And being screamed at is not how I learn. Becca, how are you doing? How is your evening going? Is you good? So yeah, of the very few MMOs that I've really gotten into, Final Fantasy 14 is probably the best. Probably the one I'd most easily be able to go back to as well. I think the set dressing of it being a Final Fantasy helps as well, because I was basically raised on Final Fantasy, like, as a single player experience, so then going into a multiplayer experience, and you've still got chocobos, you've still got the job system, you've still got Moogles hanging around, like, you know what a Bahamut is, you know what an Ifrit is, it helps so much to just go, okay, I know what I'm looking at here. I actually need to bring this around here.
Look at all those chickens!
Oh, Nacho Jack, you lovely, lovely man. Look at all these chickens. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nacho, how was your stream? What were you streaming? I will finish off this little piece right here, and then I'll zoom out to show everyone what's been going on in here. But Raiders, how's it going? So we are drawing our goopy swashbuckler. Ken Elise, welcome, welcome. The Huntress, hello, welcome, welcome. Unnamed Fury, always good to see you, dude. Minxie Gaming, hello. Gotta love the almost 10 more runs I'll need to run. Ah, Sans, you can do it, man. Do it for us. Do it for the Raiders. But guys, I hope everyone has had a fucking lovely evening with Nacho, and then we'll continue having a lovely evening with me. We are talking MMOs and our experiences with. If you are a frequent player in an MMO, please let me know. I want to know what your experiences are. I never claimed to be the most experienced in MMOs, but I played a couple. Playing some Fall Guys. Fall Guys is fantastic. I feel like I need to play some Fall Guys on stream. Like, all the cool kids are doing it. Like, Nacho Jack's doing it. Everyone else needs to be doing it as well.
Thank you.
Becca, thank you so much for the whatchamacallit? The subscription. It's words, man. What do they mean? MMOs are your fave. It is you, isn't it, that plays a lot of RuneScape? Yes, it is you that plays a lot of RuneScape. I'm always surprised that RuneScape's still around. Like, I remember that when I was in secondary school. Mostly RuneScape and WoW. Cool. Sans, who is also chatting along with us today, is currently playing WoW. But yeah, RuneScape is one of those ones that I always remember kids playing in like the computer labs at school. And I always found it like baffling how they got to do that in school. Like how like the IT guys hadn't fixed it yet to like take it off the network. Bio. Good evening, dude. How's your Monday going? I hope the week's treating you well so far. Why hasn't anyone mentioned MapleStory? I used to fucking love MapleStory. Like, that was my MMO when I was in like secondary school, like year 8, year 9. So like when I was like 13, 14, MapleStory was my jam. That was the one I went for. MapleStory was weird. It was a 2D, very anime, like, it was never really huge in the UK. It was much more of like a Chinese, Korean-based MMO. MapleStory was my syrup. I enjoy alt MMOs. I like playing different classes with different playstyles. But that's absolutely fair. I completely agree with you. Having alts is what makes MMOs. And it's content in games that without alts you're basically barred from experiencing. And I dislike that. But the whole process of having an alt in WoW always rubbed me the wrong way. How has no one mentioned Habbo Hotel? I played a little bit of Habbo Hotel. I'm not gonna lie. I may have. So this is gonna age me, and I wonder how many people remember this sort of system. If you had a phone that used credit, so like a top-up phone, so each text would cost you like 10 pence, and you put £5 credit on there, and you chip away at it. You could text away your credit to Habbo Hotel, and you do that by texting the number and saying like the amount that you wanted to give to them, and it would take it from your credit balance on your phone and give you the in-game currency. Beckless knows. Beckless is falling into the trap as well. I used to do that all the time. This was far before your time. Maybe this was like early 2000s. It's like probably like 15, 16 years ago. But yeah, so we had pay-as-you-go phones because that's all that was available to us. We didn't have contracts or anything. And yeah, so before you knew the internet was a thing. Oh, the pure times before you were corrupted by the internet, as we all were. Yeah, so we'd text away our credit, and then we'd have to ask our parents for more. And I don't know if Becca, if you did this, but I basically lied to my parents saying that texts were way more expensive than they actually were. So I would say like, oh, can I get £10 credit on my phone? Like, how have you used it already? It's like, oh, texts are like 50p. Like, I only get like 20 and I'm done. And I'll show them my phone and I can see like there's like 20 texts on there. So I'm roughly telling the truth. But what they don't see is that every third text is costing me like £6 to £7 because I'm giving it to this other app elsewhere. Fuck, you do the same thing. See, truly, we are birds of a feather. We are basically the same kind of slime ball. Not like, if you excuse the current art pun. But yeah, it was so weird looking back at it. Same slime boy / swashbuckler. Yeah, it was fucking weird. The hoops that we had to jump through to get our like ridiculous, meaningless like furniture for our little flat in Habbo Hotel that no one would ever visit because everyone's in the common areas. You know, I used to love Toontown as well. What was Toontown? I'm not familiar with Toontown. I'm going to have to give it a quick look. If I can spell. Oh, Toontown looks like a shit show. I love how all the screenshots are tiny. Oh my god, that looks... So basically, they were chasing, like, they ought to be like Warner Brothers or Looney Tunes, the MMO. It was awful, I loved it. Oh, Nacho, you were a Toontowns guy as well. Hang on, is it Disney? Was it actually Disney? But they fan revived it recently. Yeah, I'm seeing some like newer screenshots. Because I'm just seeing I'm seeing this fucking image. I have to download it. And it's Mickey saying, "Are you enjoying your time in Toontown?" And it's just I'm going like, "You are a jerk." I'm loving it. It's incredible. At least I can pop it on screen for you guys. Where are you? Why have you not downloaded? This is outrageous. Show it folder. Oh, you're in pictures, that's why you're not in downloads. I am being a dum-dum. Yes. What is this? It's just, I hope you're enjoying your time in Toontown. Haha. You're a jerk. It's just, it's such early 2000s, like, edgy nonsense. Like, we know we can't swear, we can't say fuck shit or anything like that. So you got to call him a jerk. Oh, poor Mickey. Mickey is a dickhead. I won't dispute that in the slightest. But it's just, I love it. Like, are you enjoying your time? Fuck off. Get out of here. I don't care that Toontown is your game. I'm sick of you, Mickey. Oh man, Toontown has proper tickled me. I had no idea it was a thing until like 10 seconds ago. How did I not know it was a thing? That was Toontown in a nutshell. Brilliant. So yeah, Toontown looks like a trip. It looks very much like... This was made for kids. And then what they didn't realise is that kids knew bad words. So kids are going to just devolve into little monsters as soon as you give them like a free space to roam in. Also, Nacho, I don't think I actually gave you a proper shout out when you raided. Which I try and always do, Nacho Jack. One of the nicest dudes on Twitch himself. If you're not following, then you absolutely need to, because he is just one of the most wholesome motherfuckers I've ever met. I say met. I've seen him on. I've seen like video of him on the internet. We're basically besties. How have I not actually counted how much rep I get from this? Nacho is wholesome. Nacho is very wholesome, dude. Of course, man. Like you're one of the best. You're one of the people that I don't see enough of. But if you're ever about, and I'm like in the market for like watching some streams, like you're always like top of the list to get in there. Wholesome with seems to tag country. Man, that's my brand. Is lovely but vile. You're so loved, motherfucker. That's the brand. Ah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, fucking Habba Hotel and all that. That's sent some proper like nostalgia waves back. You're spending way too much money on way too little. I used to do this thing as well where we had one computer in like not the living room, but we had yeah, Becca gets it. Motherfucker with love is basically the brand. Is you son of a bitch, I love you. But we had one computer in the house, and it was downstairs in like not in the living room. We had like this double like room that had like basically like a sitting room and then a living room, and there was like these big glass doors in the middle, so you could see either side really easily. So my parents were in the front room watching TV, and I'd be in that back room on the PC, so they could tell me to go to bed. And what I do was, I go to bed, stay up, and wait like fucking like looking back at it, I'd wait like a fucking serial killer. I'd wait for them to go to bed. I'd wait like maybe 15-20 minutes, and then I'd sneak downstairs, step over the dog. I knew exactly which steps were creaky and which ones to avoid. I knew where the banister creaked if you leant on it, so I knew where to avoid that. I'd sneak downstairs, always wearing socks, so I didn't make any sound or anything like that. I sit downstairs and I turn the computer on. I start gaming it again until like 4 in the morning. And my parents would always wonder, why the fuck is our child knackered? Kids have the guts, they will be serial killers. I think that's worryingly true. You're spot on. But yeah, I use the same thing. Yeah, I don't know if it's still done, because kids usually have their own like devices these days. Whereas I had one phone that didn't do anything. It was literally just a phone. No worries, have a good dinner, dude. I was with my maths A-level by playing Chivalry until 5 AM. See, that is the good stuff. That's the story of a true youth. Is missing out on your A-levels. Because you're playing fucking Chivalry. Like, we weren't out doing drugs. We weren't doing that. We were just inside playing Chivalry until our fucking eyes bleed. I put my blanket over a small lamp, so I was under my blanket during the night playing Game Boy Advance because I didn't have anything lighting itself. No, I remember that. I have mad respect for that. I remember having a different kind of disappointment. Yeah, right? I mean, like, if we were going out partying and doing drugs, at least in the movie of our lives, we would be the cool kid. But no, we're tragically the nerdy kids. But I had a Game Boy Color that I'd play under the covers as well, with a torch. So I had a torch, like, basically, under my gym jams. I was the nerdy but violent kid. I met with some of those kids. Got around trying to play the Game Boy in the car at night and having to wait until you get past the street light to see the screen. Yeah, you can only play for like 2 seconds every 5 seconds. But I remember as a kid, I would have my Jim Jams on in bed, and I had like this torch, like a big old weighty torch that I'd stolen from the garage. That I knew my dad didn't really use, so that like was next to my bed, like underneath the mattress on one side. So if you just jump on my bed, you would know there's a big fucking metal lump under one side of the mattress that would like crack your skull. But I put it under my shirt like this and sort of hold it like that, and then I play Game Boy with this torch, which is meant to illuminate like a field, was actually just illuminating my fucking like just my Game Boy. It's like, do you remember? I think it was the opening to the second Harry Potter film, where he's doing the same thing but practicing spells. And I think it's like I can't remember what the spell is. It's like luminous or something like that. He's basically casting light, and he's trying to figure it out. It's not going well. It's always spittering out, and then he gets it, and it blinding light, and it zooms out, and that's the beginning of the movie. Part of the Chamber of Nintendo is spot on. And it's what it was. I had this huge fucking industrial-sized torch obliterating my fucking Game Boy just so I could level up my Pikachu a couple more times and take on Brock's Rock Gym with an electric type, because I was stubborn and also stupid. Like, I need my Pikachu to like 16 levels over to take on that fucking Onix, because I couldn't fathom catching a fucking grass type or something like that. Like, like my life is difficult because of me. I'm the difficulty that has to be overcome. But yeah, so having the Game Boy under the covers was something I absolutely did as well. And I feel like it's a trial by fire that you have to go through, just for like ingenuity. Like, can you solve this problem? You want to play games, but Mum and Dad said no. So how are you going to play games? In Fire Red as a child, I grinded my Charmander into a Charizard before the second gym because it was water. Okay, cool. I feel like we're in good company now, Sans, because we're both fucking idiots. We'd rather brute force our way through the brick wall rather than use the convenient door next to it. Want to know how I got my parents to let me have video games first? Alright, I want to know this. Tell me your story. Because I remember getting a PS1, and it ended up being like a year before the PS2 came out. And it was a considerable amount of money for my parents. So I got it, and it was like a big expenditure. It was my birthday and Christmas combined. And then like 6 months later, the PS2 comes out. My parents look at each other and go, fuck. Ugh. I found maths learning CD-ROM games when I was like 5 in the library. Ah, so that was your gateway. All games were educational from that point on. And what did you learn from Habbo Hotel? Financial responsibility. Yeah, it absolutely... Stranger danger. That's the second more important skill that Habbo Hotels teaches you. I'm the youngest of 4. All my siblings got games from their dads, so I got to inherit a lot of old game consoles when each of them started being more towards PC games. So that's cool, I like that. That sort of... I think it can be rough as a kid to get hand-me-downs. No doubt there, because nothing is truly yours. It's always something that was someone else's and now is left to you. But I think like there's a good job of like giving you a good amount of history for games as well. And I'm not going to get all old manish like, kids these days, they don't know what video games are. But like, you have a GameCube that was owned by your older sister and you still play it. I mean, GameCube was good, man. I remember friends of mine had GameCubes. I always had PlayStations. And I know when I eventually I want to be audacious enough to own property. I want to own a house, and what I want to do is have like a game room where I have a lot of these like older consoles, and basically catch up with some of the games that I might have missed as a kid. Snap, that's what you aspire for as well, right? It's such a good thing. It's the best. Like, why do you want to own a house? To raise a family? No, I want games consoles. I want all the games consoles. I want all the old ones. And I want to look at it because I'm an adult and I have no time to play it. That's what I aspire to have. I have a decent collection of old game consoles still. See, I went through a phase a few years ago where I thought, you know what? I'm going to start collecting things. I thought, I'll collect video games. I'll start with consoles I have, so a PS3. And I slowly built up like racks and racks and racks of PS3 games. And I had like almost like 200 odd games. And then I moved out with my parents. And it was to a much smaller space, but it was mine. And I had to get rid of all of it. And CEX took it all for 10 pence a game. The motherfuckers, they bled me dry. The two reasons why I want to live by myself: my own kitchen and the power to create my own game god room. Absolutely. Having a kitchen that you don't have to share with people is the best. It was like the key like stressor for me in uni was sharing a cooking space with people that refuse to learn how to cook. $10p a game was a lot. I mean, this was back. This is after the PS4 was out, but it was still new. So the PS3 was still a moneymaker for them. I'm probably overestimating it. But I remember like a lot of the physical media I bought up or collected for the longest time had to go to CEX, just because it was time to get rid. But I remember like giving some CDs over to CEX, and some of the absolute gems that were in there, and some of like the stinkers as well. One of which was it's not the nicest story in the world. But I had all the Lost Prophets CDs, and if you know Lost Prophets, you know what happened to Lost Prophets, in particularly their frontman. Let's just say Notorious Pedophile doesn't do it justice. So it was just after all that news came out and he was being taken to court and going to prison. And I was handing like all these CDs over, and obviously their system would still take Lost Prophet CDs, and I think you can still get Lost Prophet CDs from CEX. But as he was coming over, he sort of saw Lost Prophets and looked at me like, "We're never going to shift this." I was like, "I know, take it. Take these pedo jams away from me. Like, I'm done." And yeah, so like some of them like maybe like happy to get rid of. Yeah, this is your sin to deal with now. I've done my time. I am clean. My watch is over. But yeah, that was like some shit, man. So yeah, I had to give away all my my physical like collections and stuff, and I've been missing it recently. I want to get all that stuff back somehow. I don't know how. Ask nicely, maybe. Most people think I own is my bookshelf, but its entire level is just games and my 4 Zelda books and Master Sword. That's cool. I like that stuff. I have in my hallway. a big stand. It's got Nerf guns and Fallout memorabilia and video game art books, and it's like the coolest shit that I own. I absolutely love it. Let's move on to this art. I think I've said before, but if you ever want like video game art books, Dark Horse, they're the people to go see. Their art books are like second to none. They're incredible. And they do them for a lot of different games as well. It's actually surprising how many games they do art books for. I think the Zelda is it the Zelda Historica? Something like that. I think the Zelda Historica is Dark Horse. I'll see what it's called. The 4 Zelda books, you've got a Dark Horse. Yes. Historia, that's the one. Published by Dark Horse, yeah. One of the video game type things I would love to do is go to live music concerts. I've seen, what is this fighting music we've got going? If anyone is suffering from anxiety, then I can only apologise, but I'm playing boss music, and there's no fight happening. But yes, I think Final Fantasy is good for having concerts of their music. So they always have like orchestral versions of stuff being played. I know a couple of guys I went to uni with are super into all that stuff, and they've been to a few of them. Very jealous. I think, was there a Breath of the Wild like orchestral concert or something like that? I believe there was, anyway. Talking of Zelda, I've been getting back into Breath of the Wild. It's got its hooks into me again as like my downtime game. So not for like streaming or anything like that. But yeah, I'm just going through and like getting like all the like Kokorok seeds, like filling in like the little gaps here and there to just really like complete that game. There was a Square Enix one I really wanted to see like 3 years ago. We can get tickets. Yes, Square Enix have been fantastic for doing like big orchestral pieces or like concerts for their music. I don't think there's many other game companies that really do that kind of stuff for their games. Obviously games like Rock Band and fucking Band Hero don't count. But I go see like a Devil May Cry one. I fucking love the music from Devil May Cry. Capcom do one as well. Excellent. I'd love to see that kind of stuff. I struggle to see it like recorded, but going to see it live would be amazing. Actually, I might see if there is like an instrumental Devil May Cry sound like playlist on Spotify, because I'm in the mood for something a little bit more rocky. This is very dance trance evolution. This music makes you want to step on arrows on the ground, right? Like it makes you want to get up and just stamp in very specific places. Devil May Cry 3 original soundtrack. Let's do that. Some of these are going to be... This is all in Japanese, so I have no idea what any of it is. Devil Trigger is such... all the music from Devil May Cry is fantastic. I have endless amounts of love for it. Yeah, ideally it's copyright free. Though I was watching a streamer today who was very much like, why would you give a shit? No one's gonna watch your video on demand, so don't worry about getting muted. I was like, you know what? That's fair. Like, I very rarely go back and watch someone's video on demand. It's all about finding it live. Yeah, so nothing will ever like pick up live. You won't get muted live. People getting straight up banned for it. I'm not sure. I think as long like I very rarely hear someone say video on demand rather than VODs. It's because I'm new to the terminology. So in my mind it's still video on demand, even though it is VODs. I'm still Twitch baby. Be patient. I will get with the lingo soon. I am an old man. I'm a Twitch grandpa. I fucking am. Like, honestly, now that I'm here on Twitch, I'm like, I'm basically kicking myself of like, why the fuck have I not been here for years? Why did I not think that this was something I could do? And like, it's basically like, oh, I just saw other people do it, and it never occurred to me that it was something that I could do. But now doing it, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, Adam, you could have been here for years. Yeah, I've not heard of anyone getting banned, but I was always like, DMCA's are, like, you get 3 and you get banned or something like that, and just wipe everything, basically just scrub you off the face of the earth. So I'm not sure where it lies, but I've seen a few streamers now where they're just like, dude, no one's watching video on demand. Don't worry about them at all. If anything, worry about live stuff. Like, it's sad to stay at the DMCA. You're alright, Sans. You can stay. I like you. I like the cut of your jib. Son of a bitch. You got me on that one. I probably giggle into it. Such an honor, right? You made me laugh. I'm not going to ban you on a whim. I'm yet to ban anyone. I've been very lucky in my Twitch short tenure. Tenure, even. Tenure isn't even a word. But yeah, I think I'm going to do a little bit more investigating, but... yeah, people are apparently a little more gung-ho about using copyrighted music than I was originally worried to do. So Sans, I know you follow, and that's how sort of we collided on a digital space, is Conk. But Conk uses copyrighted music in his intros and outros, and his mentality is basically, it's my intro and my outro, nothing's happening anywhere, and like anyway, so if it gets muted, I don't give a shit, because only while the music is playing, that's what gets muted. So my video on demands are liable to get muted in the middle anyway, because I'm using background music throughout the entire thing, and it's happened before. I've had sections and full like minute, like almost like 20 odd minutes of music of my streams be muted on the VODs because Spotify has gone, oh, you like this royalty free stuff? Well, here's some royalty not free stuff. Much to like, thanks, I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to hear that. Only time I've timed someone out is because she literally asked for it. To the point she said, time me out for 2 seconds just to try it. But me fucking on timing her up with 99. Oh no! So basically, you gave her like a temporary ban. Brilliant. I mean, that's what you get for asking to be timed out, really. What do they expect? Right, so I've got point A and point B, and I'm going to fuck up and get him to it now. That's actually not too bad. I can clean that up and make that look respectable. She for some reason expected you to know what you were doing. See, that's her fault. That's on her. That's not on you in the slightest. Like no one knows what they're doing on Twitch. Least of all, the host of the channel. Like, we're just happy that we're online, really. That's like, hey, the stream's up. It's a fucking miracle. Let's go. Yeah, I've been very lucky that I haven't had to deal with anyone really fucking about too much. I think there's been a couple of people who've been like too eager in like the back seating department, where I've gone like, hey, you need to chill it out, because it's all right having the Wikipedia up while you're watching me, but it's not all right to like dictate what I'm going to do, because I'm here not with the Wikipedia open. I'm trying to be mildly entertaining as well as play a game. I'm not going to be speedrunning anything. I'm not going to be making like the ultimate sick clutch plays that you want. Until fucking recently, I was not aware the sound I streamed was the sound my mic picked up from my headphones. Really? I mean, at least you know now. That's like, it happens. We're all learning around here. I had to semi-deafen myself for people or to hit the fucking game. There was a couple of like early instances of Breath of the Wild where I hadn't figured out quite how to figure out like how do I describe this? How I balance the headphone level for me for the video games and how it's coming through for you guys on the stream. Because those are two separate sources for the setup I have. So I was playing Breath of the Wild at full blast, full whack, horrendously loud, because I didn't know how to turn it down in game and on console. And then I was balancing it on stream down to an acceptable level alongside my voice. So there's me like wincing anytime anything happens because it's so fucking loud. And yet it's perfectly fine on stream. The other way of doing that was to have the audio from the stream played into my ears while still playing it live. So all the audio was like 6 seconds delayed, which was horrifying. It was like playing with a speech jammer. Would never recommend doing that. It was the worst. But no, this is the music that I was craving. I want to be in a fucking late 90s Matrix rave with baggy jeans on that are 18 sizes too big. They're wet up to the knee because they drag on the floor. Would you not hear your own voice with that? No, I didn't. I can't remember how it was. It was basically my, it was like my, what do you call it, my desktop audio, that it was, because I was screen capturing a window of the game capture. So, my OBS was capturing a window of the capture card's own software displaying the screen, and then I was hearing that, and then it was again delayed for on stream. So it was like two levels of delay. There was one delay on the screen capture software, and there was another delay on the actual stream going out to the public. So I was seeing it in that midpoint, because I didn't figure how could I add the capture card properly, rather than a desktop capture or something else. So for my Switch, I use the Elgato HD60S, and I was using Elgato's own software to basically screen mirror onto desktop, the same way I do my iPad. It was like 2 full bothers. It was way more than a bother and a half. I use OBS Studio, I believe. But if I remember it, I'm going to switch over to my Okami tab for a second. So it's going to go black, but it's now game cam is. So basically, my capture card is now registered as like a camera source. So basically, I have 2 cameras: face cam and game capture cam. And on that game capture cam, I have audio and video coming through. But it means one less program I have to have open, one less like delay, and one less thing. Like, yeah, I worked it out now. I get there eventually. It's just I struggle getting there in the first place because I didn't really pay much attention like during IT classes at school, and that's really come back to bite me in the ass. So I can draw a pretty thing, but putting technology together, ropey. But this is basically how I do the iPad capture. So I have a program that makes my iPad think that my computer is a Apple AirPlay target. So if I show you, it's not screen mirroring. It's this a PowerSoft. So there's another program on my computer called a PowerSoft, which is then displaying my iPad screen as a window. And then what you're seeing on stream is me with a window capture of that program. So it's rickety. It's really fucking rickety. But it seems to work most of the time. Most we learned was Excel, which my dad taught me before I had to go into school. Yeah, I mean, IT class more often than not was just that. We learned fucking Dreamweaver for no apparent reason. Do you want to learn to make a shitty website that's already outdated? Then that is the program for you, sonny. So yeah, like IT class was never great for me. And then by the time it got to like A level, where you're going to start learning like the good stuff, I was already like, I don't care for this in the slightest, so I'm not going to invest in it at all. So as soon as I could, I dropped IT. My favorite was learning a program called Dance EJ. What the fuck was Dance EJ? We then had to use a weird-ass 3D modeling program. What was the 3D modeling program? Because I learned 3ds Max and ZBrush at uni. It's good fun playing around with, but 3D modeling is not my bag. Sketchy. That does sound weird. I've never heard of it. If I ask anyone else, seems like no one else in town has ever learned that program. I have no idea what Dance EJ is. Like, was it music software? It has to be, right? With dance in the name. I actually need to do this. It's a dodgy black market garage band. Amazing. I remember I was in school, I was a drummer. So I learned and still know how to play the drums. And I thought, I want to do music. I love my music. I like playing music. I hate being in a band, but I like doing music. I'll go and like try and be a music tech. So I did music at A level until I realised it's 90% just cleaning up cables and making sure like all these different audio tracks are still working properly. I was like, this is not for me either. Music, I like it. I like doing it. So I learned Cubase, and there was another music program which was awful. It's basically just, do you want to make MIDI sheet music? So you did music at A level at school, but it was like 8% classical and music theory. That was the music course. I did music tech, which was like the newer sort of course, and that was all based around studio recording. So you learn about microphones, you learn about like microphone setup, studio management, how to fucking wrap up a guitar lead properly, and then how to like mix and produce music. And I was so out of my element, because you say you were a singer, you don't know how to read music. I was a drummer, I didn't know how to read music. Like, what the fuck do I need a chord for? You can't do that on drums. Like, so all these kids I was alongside were playing chords and like guitars and songs. I was like, oh, do you know what key this is? I was like, no, I don't know what key this is. I've never needed to know. Do I hit the bass drum or the snare? Like, how loose does my hi-hat need to be at this given moment? That's what I want to know. I don't care about this is a G chord. What key is this? Allen key. It's very true. Like, what am I gonna... This is in a minor key. Great. That's information I don't need to know. I hit the drum sad then. So being a singer, I completely sympathize with the whole, like, I wasn't taught any of this shit. Why am I here? Besides the 3 students that love music, they never spent a second teaching anyone how to do anything on how to play any instrument. That was pretty similar to my school. Like, pre-GCSE, everyone did music. I think even at GCSE, most kids... Actually, no, GCSE was the dropping off point, because that's where you started making choices. But up until that point, everyone did music. But, like, the lessons were very sort of loose, and it was more like, we want to see which kids actually give a shit and pick this stuff up and start running with it. And then those kids, we will sell music at GCSE level to. So when you go up a year and start making your decisions on what you specifically want to study, they would go to those kids and go, hey, you looked at a guitar and held it right. Do you want to learn this properly? Whereas there's the fucking 20 other kids in the class licking a xylophone, basically. These kids clearly aren't getting it. We're not going to bother with them. funny story from my music class. My friend got a C on the music class, and he got really sad and cried about it. And then I told him I got a B. And he started crying even more because he had a sense of superiority over everyone else. And he fucked up. Oh man, I remember those kids, the ones that could do no wrong. The kids that until like a certain point, they were gifted, but they were only gifted at the easy stuff, and then they were never taught how to like apply themselves because it was all easy up until the point. I remember those kids, the kids that would get like an A- and freak out. My singing tutor did try to teach me to sight read, but I think I was so awful, so I gave up and just focused on me learning the songs. I need to do my grades and my A levels. I didn't even do grades at drumming. Like, my tutor asked me like, "Hey, do you want to do this as like a profession, as a session musician?" I'm like, "Nah, not really. I just enjoy it." And they're like, "Cool. I'm not gonna bother putting you in for the exams because it's money that we don't have to spend." So it's like fucking groovy. So I ended up being, I think like grade 4 is where I sort of clocked out at learning drums. But I remember I got a new music teacher once because the old guy just retired. And the new guy came in and was like, "Alright, cool, this is the first time I'm meeting, like, hi, how are you? Good, you know how to hold drumsticks." And he goes like, "Oh, so what have you been learning?" And he expects you to say like, "Oh, I've been learning like just rock 4/4 times. Like your basic, every song that's ever popular is 4 beats, 4 bars." And then I went, "Oh, I've been learning jazz 4/3 rhythm." And he fucking lit up. He was like, "Let's swing, motherfucker." And it's the first time I'd ever heard like anyone in like a teaching position like swear. I was like, oh, music teachers can be cool as fuck, huh? I like this now. And yeah, all like every day, like every session from then on is like, all right, what do you want to do? Like, what weird shit do you want to learn? Because clearly, you don't want to learn like the normal stuff that everyone else is learning. You're off the reservation. You want to just go wild with this. Like, yeah, let's learn the weird stuff. Yeah, best type of teacher. Another one threw her phone on the ground and it broke because she was an A student. Everything, but a French teacher gave her a B. She said it was the teacher's fault the phone broke. That is a kid that needs to learn to like de-stress quick, otherwise that's going to be a short-lived life. Or a lifelong academic. There's 2 ways that person can go. But yeah, with teachers that are like extracurricular teachers, so my parents were paying for drum lessons. The fucking idiots. Taking them for a ride, basically. As soon as the teachers realised, like, I don't care about the normal stuff that everyone else is learning, they're like, "Cool, whatever, man. We're just here to have fun now." Because they're all secretly rock and roll. She's so smart but thick as shit in every aspect. There are some kids who are like very book smart, and then you know they're the kids that are gonna get beaten up and mugged because they don't realise the dark alleyway is scary for a reason at night. Yeah, they absolutely loved. Yeah, my drum teacher actually fucking adored me because I came in like, "Hey, so I listened to this song, I want to learn that," and they're like, "Cool, let's figure it out." Or it's like, "Hey, I want to like," I'd walk in and they're just sort of like messing around between lessons, and I'd be like, "Can I learn that?" So I spent like a full month with my drum teacher learning how to play double bass with a single pedal, and I did not pick it up. It's hard as shit, but I gave it a go. So for the uninitiated with a drum kit, if I take a sidebar for a second. So you have like the bass drum that has like a little pedal behind it. And then you'll have basically a hi-hat here. These are 2 cymbals that also have a pedal that you open and close. So the bass pedal hits the big old drum at the bottom, and then the other pedal opens and closes these cymbals. But what you can do is you can essentially lock that shut, keep it tight or keep it loose, whatever you want to do. Ignore that pedal, add a second pedal here that links up to a second beater here, and you've got two pedals on that bass drum. So rather than just going like dum dum dum, you can go as fast as you want with both your feet going at the same time. The same way you do like a drum roll with your hands. But what my drum teacher did is he could do the double bass stuff with one foot, so he could still manipulate his hi-hat. The way you do that is you've got like the pedal here, and you push it down with the tip of your foot, lift up, and as it comes back up, you push it with your heel. So he's going like that, basically doing a wave with his foot. It's like, that's magic, I want to learn that. So we spent like a month's worth of lessons learning how to do that. And my parents never knew that I was wasting my time, because I then never took up drums in a serious fashion. I got to uni, had an electric kit, and was like, I like drawing more. Sorry, Mum and Dad. All the headaches of me learning drums in a 2 up, 2 down house was basically for nothing. That's only 1k more fucking not in a whole run through the dungeon. So your run through the dungeon is going to give you excess renown. That's the worst. I can't remember in World of Warcraft if excess renown transfers into like coin or something like that. Right, let's... These like leather coverings for this little bit. Oh, if you get enough rewards. Yes, there's like reputation stores that you can buy like all the branded gear, stuff like that. That's coming back to me now. So I'm hoping everyone else is like liking the changing music to Devil May Cry type stuff, because I'm fucking loving it. I'm not gonna lie. I can probably kiss like any like any like clean VODs goodbye. Because I've noticed with going back to like music being like claimed and muted and stuff like that, there's a song on the Okami soundtrack which was basically used in the trailer as well. So the Twitch auto mod bots that look out for music think I'm like watching the trailer music, which is not copyright free, but it's in the game, which means it should be copyright free, which just means anytime that music pops up, I think it's like a fight music or something like that, it gets basically claimed, and my VOD is muted while it's up. It's really weird. Dapper as fuck, Wolfman, let's go! Oh, I never managed to play the Wolf Boys, because I think they were added after I stopped playing. I've always liked the way they look. If I'm ever going to play music outside of the game, it's going to be glitchy remixes of Pokemon music. See, yeah, I can get on board with that. I do love a good remix here and there. Like, something there. I was a little bit like when I started streaming, like being like, I need to make sure all the streams like come off perfectly, because I ever want to like do some editing for like a highlight reel or something like that. And then I need the music to be there or the audio to be there. Then I realized like I don't have the time to do that kind of stuff. Mute my shit as much as you want. I'm not going back to these. Like once they're done. Alliance architecture is good looking, but it's too many united and same looking buildings is to be a good and effective hub. Oh, so the entire hub looks like landmarkless, and you can get lost very easily. That's never a good like sign of like good environment design. Like if you want me to talk about that kind of stuff, I did games design at uni, so like I at least have enough like background chops to know what you should and shouldn't be doing. And basically it's just a lack of not a lack of drivers really like reductive. That's not what I mean. But like a lack of like visual identity. And like just there's a way you make things look memorable, and it's having enough unique buildings all share an art style or an architectural style or a design ethos, so you can see, you know where you are because you recognize the buildings, but you can still recognize what city you're in. So you need to recognize like two things. You need to recognize what city you're in, and you need to recognize whereabouts in that city you're in. And if that ever fails completely, then like as an environment it's failed. So it sounds like what you're describing there is, you know what city you're in, but you don't know whereabouts in that city you are. In which case, the environment design has failed. Which is a huge shame. Overall, the buildings look the same distance. They can make them distinct, but also built vertically, so it's easy to get around the moment you're flying everywhere. Is Orgrimmar the dwarven capital? So I remember the dwarven capital in World of Warcraft being particularly heinous to get around, just because it all looked the same. Orgrimmar is the Horde capital. Okay. What's the dwarven place? I have to Google it now. Tinkertown, maybe. Was it Shadowforge? Yeah, Ironforge, that's the one. Tinkertown is gnomes. Yeah, that sounded more right. Yeah, Ironforge I found like a fucking nightmare to get around, because it was basically a big like cone hole in the ground, and then the map is sort of like almost like spiraled around it, or like comes off in that central sort of empty column. But all that meant is you had no idea if you're at the top of it, you're at the bottom of it, where the place you need to go to is up or down, or what direction you need to go once you get onto. It was basically a roundabout with no roads. It was a fucking nightmare, and I hated it. So I spent as little time there as possible. I remember there was like a pirate bay almost, like a piratey type place for goblins. So I remember that place being pretty good. Like, that was easy to get around because you had more set pieces. You had like, oh, the loading crane, or like the big ship, or like the tavern or like the blacksmiths. Like they're really obvious. They're not like massively fantasy out of the world, like out there, but there are enough that you know, like, oh, I know where I am. That's something else you've touched on, is the convenience of just having things like within a reasonable sort of distance to one another. Because yes, like in a real city, like the blacksmith is probably going to be the other end of town to the leather worker, which is like a good 10-minute drive. But in a video game, just put them like 30 seconds away from each other, because just for game flow makes it way better. Right, the majority of the inks on this are done now. So we are going into his inky self. Just to make sure we sell him being inky properly. Well, not inky, sorry, gelatinous. So it'll be like these. So you can sort of see the reflection of his clothing and stuff behind him, but it's all distorted and wibbly. And got bubbles. Because he, like, Ganassi typically aren't incorporeal or like their element through and through. Like a fire Ganassi isn't literally made of fire, but rather they have like fiery elemental effects dancing around them. But I think with a slime Ganassi, I think there's a better case to be made for being properly just made of slime. That we can rule of cool push a little bit further. But what we want to do is do this basically. Do you want to do that with black, or do you want to do it with like dark blue in the colour more than anything? I'm not convinced on that, to do that. But let's at the very least block him out. So I'm trying to think what else we've got to do for the rest of the week. So I know on Thursday we'll be bringing Okami back. We took a break from it for an extra Darkest Dungeon session last week. So we'll be doing Okami again. I don't know how you guys are feeling about Okami. I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely a game that I don't want to spend a huge amount of time on. Like I want to properly steam through it. Partly because I've played it before, and also partly because like it's got no following. Like in terms of like what people want to watch, it's not up there. Even worse is the last Alliance unique hub for an expansion, a realistic port town. Everything is packed together all nice and fine in a close area, but it's so packed getting around to find the right places to hassle. Oh, so it's like full of players. So there's no like crowd mitigation. That's a shame. Yeah, that's like a uniquely MMO issue. It's basically like city planning in a very real way. Like saying like, okay, how are 3,000 players gonna navigate this city at the same time? The players most well buildings that look very similar to get in the right place to pain in the ass. That just sounds like an absolute shit show. One of, I think, the downsides of Final Fantasy 14 is they have a lot of unique hubs, but you barely ever use them. Like there is one hub that everyone uses because like everything is there. So like there's like 4 or 5 hubs if I remember right, and four of them will have 90% of what you want there. There's one of them that has everything. And like, why would you ever want to go to another one that doesn't have everything? So it ends up being absolutely rammed every time. Well, actually, there's some bits I've missed down here. So it's just like the hilt, basically. Okay. I was like, I said Ogrimmar, which is at least open enough to be able to get around without being bothered by the players. Yes, that's important. To have your own, like, it being big enough without being too big. It's a difficult balance to get. I think thinking about it, like talking about it today, I think I'd like to give Final Fantasy 14 another go. But honestly, it's gonna be finding the time for it. Like there are only so many days in the week. I'm not sure about streaming it as well. I know MMOs can usually be like either the user base is hardcore into it and looking for a hardcore streamer to like do everything right, or they're genuinely nurturing and sort of like, hey man, we're in it just for fun. Just fuck around. Don't worry about like the ultimate DPS. Here and this. Right, I think I I've been drawing on the wrong layer. Alright, cool. God damn it. I'm going to run off to the bathroom real quick. So I'm going to play a quick advert. So anyone that wants to hop in after I'm back doesn't run into a pre-roll advert. But I would encourage anyone else to get up, stretch their legs, grab yourself a drink as well. I'll see y'all in a couple of minutes, or like a minute. I'm back. What did I miss? Warlock is very fucking powerful when you have some 9 imps, 2 Fellstalkers, a Felguard, Vile Fiend, and Demonic Tyrant. The Tyrant increases the demon's damage by 50%, which just murders things. So is the Warlock basically like the Summoner class? This is I'm trying to pull from knowledge that I only vaguely understood in the first place from like 15 years ago. Because I'll always appreciate a class that has minions. And basically you sit back, sip it on mimosas, as your minions do all the work. Because I remember one of my favourite Dragon Age playthroughs was that. I went Ranger and had a Dog of War, the Beast Companion. I then had Zevran and Leliana, the other 2 Ranger companions, and spec those into Beastmasters as well. And then we basically have us 3 humanoids sit at the back, peppering them with arrows, and have our dogs run forward and keep everything busy. We also had the war dog companion running up front as well. Which, if you ever give me a dog in a video game, I'm gonna keep them on me all day, every day. The spec of Warlock you play is Demonology, which is fuck you have a demon army to kill you for me. Sounds like a summoner. Sounds like the kind of guy that sits back, chills out, minions do all the heavy lifting. Which I think is just playing smart, to be honest. These warriors with swords and these wizards with their fucking spellbooks. It's chumps, man. Where are we going? This way? This way? I need to actually have a look and see how much of Okami we actually have left. Because it might not be much. I know we're about to fight Orochi, and that's basically when, like, the true big bad is revealed. Once you put Orochi to rest, or, like, really give him a good kicking, there's, like, the ultimate evil that pops out that you then have to do, or deal with.
Look at all those chickens.
FaZe-chan. Hello, hello. Look at all these chickens. How you doing? How's your stream? How's your Pokemon going? I saw the notification pop up. And hello Raiders, welcome, welcome, welcome. Can't stay long, but hey, no worries, dude. I understand it. Once the stream is over, like, it's collapsing time. But here's our slime Ganassi, our little goopy boy. Barbarian half-orc. No, this is a slime Ganassi. So something I heard on Twitter not too long ago. Are you doing your Pokemon Showdown match? Oh, dude, good luck. I hope you smash him to pieces. I can't remember who you're fighting. But yes, Epic Gamer, Ganassi are basically elemental humanoids in D&D. So this one is like a play on like the planes between, like the planes between. So you got the plane of fire and the plane of water, but in the middle you'd have the plane of steam. And one of the planes is between water and earth, and you basically have like the Great Swamp, or the plane of Ooze. So what would like an elemental humanoid from the plane of Ooze look like? It'd be a fucking slime. Yeah, flying versus rock. Oh, yes, good luck to you, dude. So this is our cheeky swashbuckling slime Ganassi. I haven't got any stats for them or anything like that. They're not an official like player race or anything like that. So if you are a D&D player, by all means, I am down for theory crafting what a slime Ganassi would get you in terms of like stats and abilities and stuff like that. I love it. Like, I like slimes anyway. They're always one of my favorite enemy types to see and use. And being able to play one is like, to my knowledge, there isn't really like a slime-based player race in 5th edition anyway that I've seen yet. So I think it's a glaring omission. High dexterity to make for a really good rogue. I think so too. I think it would be someone that would be essentially like, basically, you know, like a contortionist. So like they'd have advantage to like escape like bindings and stuff like that. So because they're made of goo, like you can't really put them in manacles because they'll just gel out of it. Yeah, acrobatics and stuff like that. Ability to shrink in size and take no drowning damage. I think the breathing underwater is absolutely a good shout. I mean, they are part water element, so that breathing underwater makes a hell of a lot of sense. But basically, like a flexible like circus tumbler or a contortionist. Mama Muffin Emi, look at all these chickens. That's the 3rd raid tonight. Mama, how is it going? You absolute lovely human being. What is going on? It's just all popping off now. Keon's here as well. The longest game of Risk. There's short games of Risk? I thought every game of Risk was like weekends long. It's like a full-time job, is Risk. Maybe have some resistance to bludgeoning damage. I think Ganassis would have resistance to bludgeoning as well. Shit, I gotta move Raid back to tier 1. Oh no. But yes, welcome for you new raiders. Here is the drawing of the night. Is our slime Ganassi. 2.5 hours for a game of Risk seems pretty good. I think you got off lightly. But no, thank you. I'm glad the stream went well. I'm glad the game of Risk wasn't too heinous. We are just on the outlining stage to make the game proper pop. You surrendered. Oh, dude. So it didn't go very well. I haven't played Risk in absolute ages. But if any of you are D&D players, we're theory crafting what our slime elemental little lad would do. And so far we think so like resistance to acid damage for sure, because they're part slime, or mostly slime. I think vulnerability to fire could be interesting. Salt. They're not slugs. That's just harsh. They're just mean. You never salt a Ganassi. Poison resistant. I mean, yeah, Sans, you got a point. Salt would dry it out. But would it be like a small skin irritant rather than like an actual damaging thing? Because I'd wager like maybe like vulnerability to lightning. If they're like a superconductor of liquids, something like that. I think the bludgeoning resistance is pretty safe. This thing where like, as a player race, like they would get one maybe, but not like resistance to acid and maybe like is it the Grung? They have like a racial ability where they can poison their weapons because they are poisonous tree frogs. So maybe they have an ability where they can slime up their weapons and like add acid damage to their weapons. Yeah, we need to balance. Yeah, we don't want to make them too good, otherwise they'll all of a sudden become very common. Right to the point and give my butt a break. Fair enough. Stretch your legs, mama. On a kitchen chair with no cushion? Outrageous. Maybe forcing to get smaller salt. I like that. The reducing, like the forced reducing of a size class with salt would be crazy interesting. Like they get dumped salt and now they can walk through smaller spaces. But don't do it too much. My friends and I are going to do a Dark Souls race on Thursday. I'm still new at the game, but I've made it a bit further than I have in the past. Currently stuck on Capra Demon, trying to avoid hints for it. Dude, the Capra Demon is a nightmare. If you want hints, I can tell you what I did when I was streaming it last, to try and make that fight go as fast as possible. But yeah, it is just a rough fight. Right, so let's just move that down and go into shading. Right, I already beat the Nameless King. Kiss my ring. Dark Souls is the game you tackle at your own pace. I've played enough that I know that I don't know everything, basically. You play it as you need to. Souls-like games are your only speciality. Fair. So, this might be of interest to you, Epic Gamer, actually. My lockdown sort of project has been to platinum as many of the Souls games as possible. And so far, I've managed to platinum Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, and I'm currently working on Dark Souls 3 platinum here and there. And I'm fucking loving it. Weird enough, the Dark Souls games and stuff like that are like my downtime games. Nothing makes me relax more than these depressing hellscapes that they provide. I'm liking it. Still prefer the aggression of Bloodborne, but the Dark Souls map is very pleasing to unlock shortcuts for. Absolutely. The Dark Souls map is a masterpiece in and of itself. I think hub worlds like Bloodborne and even original Demon Souls, you kind of miss something with it not being all connected like Dark Souls. Udon, how's it going, my dude? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Platinum Bloodborne was a tough one. That was the one I tackled first. So I played Demon Souls and Dark Souls back when they first came out on PS3. And then I dropped the entire genre for a long time. And then, like, mid last year, went back to Bloodborne and fucking loved it. And I've been on the trip ever since. Demon Souls is rough now. I think the remake does a really good job of updating a bunch of stuff. But it's still like, it's aged in some ways that you can't really get around. But at the time it came out, it was like a prototype. Nothing like it had come before. Or like, I say nothing like it came before. So it was harkening back to a lot of games that had basically died out. And it was an older like video game mentality of like, the game's going to present the challenge, as it will be. And you either do it or you don't. There's no two ways around it. And a lot of games, AAA games in particular, hadn't been doing that for a long time. So it kind of revived that whole mentality. Sounds like a Tekken soundtrack. This is actually Dark Souls. Not Dark, fucking, I've got the wrong thing on it. It's Devil May Cry. So not a million miles away. They've got very similar soundtracks. Although the Tekken soundtracks are fantastic. I'm gonna go over to Tekken. Tekken 5 soundtrack in particular, I fucking adore. Like Tekken 6 maybe. Let's go Tekken. This brings back memories. I got big into Tekken for a while. Yes, Kazuya's coming to Smash, which is brilliant because he's such a serious dude. Yeah, this is Tekken now. Now I want to chuck a guy into a fucking volcano and ride my bear off into the distance. That's Tekken. But yes, King, Udon, I'm doing so well, man. Tonight has gone just off the rails, brilliant fun. And we've actually gone really far in this. Much further than I thought we were going to get. Like, the inks are done, basically. Oh, Sans, your spawn. Fucking Kiryu would be brilliant for a Tekken game. I've only played Yakuza 0. I want to do more. But yes, Kiryu would be brilliant for a Tekken game. I completely agree. I preferred King or Lei Wulong. King and Armor King were my mains back when I played it a lot. Raven was great. He's very much a young Wesley Snipes. Yakuza's fucking incredible. I had a lot of fun with. It's not Lei Wulong. It's Lei Shaolin or Lee Shaolin, the white-haired dude, Kazuya's adopted brother. He was always great fun. I wrecked as him. And I never begrudge people playing Eddie Gordo. People are allowed to play Eddie Gordo as much as they want. I have a lot of time for Eddie Gordo. He can be a fucking nightmare. But there are ways around him. Man, what's the state of Tekken like these days? I haven't gone into Tekken in years. Dragunov was cool. He was a really good addition to Tekken. I have a lot of time for Dragunov. I like the story of Jax all the time. Jax was fucking brilliant. Like every cutscene he got was brilliant. It's serious as fuck. Tekken 7 has some cruel ground combos. Ah, I'm gonna have to, because I think I have Tekken 7. I think I have Tekken 7 on my PS4. I think I got it in like a sale or something like that for like a couple quid. So I think I picked it up. I might have to like download it and see what it looks like these days. The lizard from the PS1. Alex. Alex was the Velociraptor. Oh no, there was a lizard. You're right. There was an actual like dinosaur, like a lizard before Alex the Velociraptor. Dude, me playing Tekken would be like 2 or 3 hours of me getting my fucking ass handed to me. To really good sound, to really fucking banging soundtrack. Like, would be great to like hear, but like I would not do well. Unless we're talking about Tekken Bowl. Tekken Bowl, I would fucking destroy at. I can't remember. I only started from Tag Tournament. I think it was PS2. Yeah, Tag Tournament was PS2. They've done Tag 2 as well, which is really good fun. I remember playing on PS1 with Tekken 1. A friend of mine had it. And I loved it, but it was very much like I only ever played it around his, so I never got really into it. And then I had a demo disc for Tekken 3, which I played. You had 3 characters on this demo disc. You had Paul Phoenix, Eddie Gordo, and Ling Xiaoyu. And you could pick any one of those 3 to fight as, and you would alternate fights between the other 2. And I would play that for hours and hours and hours and hours. My dumb little baby brain didn't understand that I was just alternating between 2 fights. So I thought it was like unlimited gameplay. So I got really into that but never actually had Tekken 3. And then I missed Tekken 4. And then Tekken 5 came out and I got really into that. Me and a few friends got really into it. And played it for fucking months. Maybe it's time I start again on Tekken. I like Tekken. I love the story for Tekken. Like, it's mad. I'm looking forward to the new Blade, but kind of dreading to see if they fuck it up. There's a new Blade. There's a new Blade. This is news to me. How has no one mentioned this before? Just because Wesley Snipes is out of prison now, so he can be Blade again. Blade 4 Underworld. They're gonna fuck it. Mashallah Ali is the new Blade. Oh, it's not Mr. Snipes. I suppose it makes sense. He's probably a lot older now. Oh, the guy that played Cottonmouth. Do you know, I liked him. Yes, you know, I see that. He is a great actor, but Wesley Snipes is like the Blade. It's like getting someone else to play Tony Stark now that we've had what's his face, Robert Downey Jr. Like, he just fit it so well. Thank you for the hydrate as well, FaZe. Dragon, welcome back, man. The beginning, I was a Mortal Kombat boy. I respect Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was a weird one. The guys I knew that were into Mortal Kombat were really into it, and I never like got like a foothold in it. Another actor, a great actor, was as much as my blade. He's notoriously hard to work with, so Marvel won't want him. Also, he went to prison for tax avoidance, didn't he? So I imagine Disney don't want anything to do with him. Or casting someone else's Han Solo. To be fair, with that Han Solo casting, it was a prequel, so like they're not going to de-age what's his face for a full movie. That's way too much work for the off year of Star Wars. Mortal Kombat is solid. I remember getting into Mortal Kombat Apocalypse, I think it was, because it was because the character creation in that was fantastic. What the fuck is going on with this music? Tekken, of course it is. That's what's going on with this music. That's Panda's ending, in case anyone was wondering. Okay, we're going on to actual more like fight music now. Looking forward to the recasting of Wolverine. That's fair. See, Tom Hardy's good, but I worry that he's being placed everywhere, and he's not. I don't think he fits quite as well as people would want. As you tell, it was Panda. My Tekken main was King and Armor King, basically in equal measure. And then Lee as like a backup. But I played 5 enough that I could basically just go, I want to play Mokujin, and probably hold my own amongst my friends. This song fucking slaps. I forgot how much this song was great. I used to have this song on my fucking iPod, along with the soundtrack, and fucking loved it. Yeah, those two are fierce. You know, the grapple combos. Yes, I loved King's stuff of just. He had moves like similar to like Yoshimitsu, where he had a lot of moves coming off the ground. So basically, if you ended up on the ground, you weren't fucked. You could recover really easily, and I like the forgiveness of that. And they had really heavy kicks. So in Tekken, I was addicted to characters that could kick well. So when they brought in Steve Fox, the boxer. Like, I loved him because he was British, and like you never see Brits in games like that, so it's fun seeing him like that. But the fact that he had no kicks, that fucked me up. I couldn't deal with him. Particularly like the Nier soundtracks. I've only played Nier Automata or Nier All Tomatoes, but I really liked the soundtrack in that. Yeah, British Steve Fox. He's got that Jack the Lad sort of mentality. Just like, he's a little bit of a geezer, but he's also like into all this like Tekken, like Shadow Corporation shenanigans that it was deceptively really heavy in. But Dragon, if you like Dragunov, you and FaZe will get along even better now. She was big into Dragunov as well. She revealed earlier in the stream. I don't know if she's still around, but message her in the Discord. There she is. She's still there. Dragunov. Our Russian pasty boy. I feel like Dragunov was the kind of character that fans of Marilyn Manson wanted to play. That's what he struck me as. I liked Dragunov. He was good fun to play, but he was basically Russian fucking Marilyn Manson. Like your aesthetic. I think that's entirely fair. I think it's spot on. Just stay in it. One nerd. Dude, if you guys are all like really into Tekken, then I might have to stream some Tekken. Like it's been a while, so fucking buckle up as I relearn shit. I beg you, do it. All right, I'll make it into a thing. Well, guys, I am. If you want, like, I'm in the middle of setting up a Discord, like an explosive barrel specific Discord. So if you want, it might be something that we could do like community days with. Because I would be down for playing with you guys. Because that's the real fun of fighting games. For me, anyway. Yes. You join the Discord. It's really bare bones, and I reserve the right to upend fucking everything. But yeah, there is an explosive barrel Discord at the moment that is in its infancy. I see Benjamin's just joined in. Benjamin, I'm not sure you are. King Udon's in there. Lovely to see you. It's a little baby. The baby little Discord. I didn't tell him, like, it wasn't like officially out yet. Like Becca has jumped the gun, but I'm not mad about it. Don't worry. But yeah, I'm still learning a lot of the stuff, like how to fix shit, make things work. I want to give like roles, things like that. We need more barrels. Yeah, we do, definitely. But yeah, so maybe once that's all up and running, once I think the Discord is in like a state that I'm proud of it, or like I can say like, okay, I like this more now. Then maybe like community day for Tekken. I'm down for that. Like I'm bruh. I might do actually. I might have to message you and see like if you're available for like just like a little call or something. Just so we can just run through things like via voice chat. Because there's a lot of like super specific like tech nonsense, which is where I struggle. Well, dude, I will absolutely pick you up on that. I'll message you after the stream tonight and we'll work something out. Because I want to get this thing sorted. If people are enthusiastic about it, I want to get it sorted. It's mostly like just sorting out roles and stuff, like how to fix all that shit. You run a bunch of different Discords, fair enough. I will tap you for your knowledge then. Because what I want it to be is a proper hub for creativity. So like properly getting to like streamers like count as creatives. So don't worry there. Like if you're ever thinking like all you do is stream, you're still a creative. You're still there. And I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what you're up to. So it's a space for that. But I want to like collect artists, collect writers, collect musicians, and just sort of have a good time and celebrate people making shit. And that's gonna be like the driving force of it, really. Becca, absolutely. I'm absolutely gonna pick you up some stuff as well. I've had my share of dealing with Discord servers. Excellent. I knew you were a good mod. You're a good candidate for a mod. Then the Discord is not my place to be in. Not true at all. Not true at all. It's going to be a place for like all sorts. Like the creatives is something that I want to push just to like elevate people. But we still want people to just like, if you're into movies, if you're into TV shows, if you're into music, if you're into different streamers, like just so we can just shoot shit and talk about stuff. Because it's going to be a hub for like, I'm going to make it to be a hub for like creative folk, but it's still it's still going to be a community hub for this channel, like by and large. It's just that's kind of the identity of the channel I want. So I want to promote other creatives, but it's still like, it's a big old family of barrels. Everyone's got barrels of enthusiasm for shit. A murder of barrels. No, it's an explosion of barrels. Reaper dude, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Thank you. This is our slime ganassi boy. You think you've got the Sans? I'm glad you've got the outfit. I knew you could do it within the stream. I'm proud of you, bud. But yes, even if you don't think yourself like a creative and that you don't produce anything, we still want you there. We still want you to take part, because you never know. You might see someone be inspired and go like, actually, you know what? I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna see if I can give it a crack. And I want that community to be there behind you, going, fucking yeah, give it a go. Have fun with it. It's all gonna be you can. Yes, it will be PS4 for me on Tekken. Well, hang on. My internet just stuttered a little bit there. My entire computer stuttered a little bit there. Interesting. Fill a barrel with crows and you're onto something. Got something that can balance your slime. I'm down for balancing the slime. Also, I'm super into D&D, so like if people are like playing D&D shit, then I want to know what you guys are playing and what's up with that sort of stuff. I have my people call your people. I love it. The business deals, the wheelings, the dealings. Chewy, how's it going, my dude? Welcome, welcome. We're talking fighting games. Are you a fighting games, sir? Do you fight games? Dragon, I know, like, I would happily have, like, the server act as, like, a hub for people looking for a game as well. I, at the moment, have no fucking time in my life to play D&D. It's really fucking bad and I need to get it sorted. Because I've not played in, like, 6 or 7 months now. And there's a hunger. But if you want to use that place as like a hub for like finding a group, fucking I'm all for it. Because like D&D is like also a creative experience. So Epic Gamer, if you say like you said like it's not a place where you focus on creatives. D&D is a creative endeavor. Like there's no two ways around it. You're playing with your imagination. That's all there ever is. I'm getting a bit selective about it though for the content. Absolutely, yes. All for picking and choosing like who you play with properly. Now to the country section of the stream. Thank you, Tekken. Thank you, Tekken soundtrack. Not really, just a button mashing for me. I don't have the time or patience to learn actual combos. That's fair, I can't blame you. It's always better in real life too, on Discord. I hunger like a gluttonous slime. I do. Tell you to kick your butt in Dragunov 1v1. I would love to see FaZe versus Dragon, Dragunov on Dragunov. Russian or Russian. 2 Russians enter, 1 Russian leaves. I still play Tekken because of the characters and music. I'm going to get back into it over the weekend. We'll see about streaming some soon. I haven't played in a while, but wanted to learn Master Raven for reasons. Can't play Super Smash because I literally can't tell who I am on the screen. Yeah, Smash I've always struggled with because it is so particle heavy that I struggle to like see what the fuck is going on, and it's not a read on the game. I understand it's fun. It's just not my pace. 1v1 tournament where we only play Dragunov. Yeah, we'll get like 16 people together, play a knockout tournament. The only rule is you play Dragunov. That's all you're allowed to play. There's one character. There is one correct answer when I ask what you're playing. It's Dragunov. But Chewy, I hope you're doing well, dude. Don't let the talk of fighting game put you off. If anything, dude, I would say get into Tekken just for the soundtrack. Just put it on in the background and let the background run. It's great. I did try getting into Guilty Gear earlier this year, but that was a struggle. Who will emerge as the most socially awkward Russian? That's it. That's what we want. Something a fighting game I did get into as a teen, probably because it had like the best character creator I've ever fucked around with, was Soul Calibur. Specifically, I think Soul Calibur 4. The one that had Vader and Yoda in it for the exclusives. I got big into those games for a little while. They were really good fun. And it was a good like change of pace, doing something that's mostly weapon based, coming off a game that's almost exclusively martial arts based. Apart from Yoshimitsu, who gets a free pass for whatever reason. Good, just got back from Nan's. Got Face Jam versus Padrino to do in the next half an hour. Yes, Face Jam as mentioned. I have to root for Face Chan for a couple of reasons. One, I know Face Chan in real life. She knows where I live, and if I don't root for her, she knows where to find me. And two, Padrino beat me in the seeding matches, so I've got a vendetta to settle against him. So I'm expecting a lot out of FaZe. Dragon versus Scouty tomorrow. Cool, I like it. So I have an equal stakes in Dragon versus Scouty. No pressure. FaZe does have an uphill battle for sure. But with you and Scouty, Dragon, I kind of want you to win, Dragon, because take down the guy that took me down. But on the other hand, I want Scouty to win, because if I'm going to lose to anyone, it better be the guy that wins everything, right? If I'm going to lose to anyone, I want it to be the champion. So, I don't know if I can pick a favourite. Actually, no. I could pick a favourite. Dragon, you're my favourite because you're here, you're in the stream, you're chatting. And where is Scouty? Where is he? He's not here. the fickle host that I am. I'm rooting for you, Dragon, because you turned up tonight. The shade. I've been mainlining RuPaul's Drag Race like all week, the past couple of weeks while I'm at work. So it's given me the drag madness. Well, the call out live on stream, right? I bet that dude is just working his job or his second job, being a responsible adult, paying his bills, not in here talking about Tekken and Pokemon like an actual adult. Like, where is he? Nice, I got some cash for Fungin by max amount of bag slots. Oh, Sanji can hold so much. Or he's going to college. No, he's finished college. He's done his finals. He's out of there. He has One less excuse than he did before. Oh, he also does that as well. Ah, he's too busy, man. He needs to come. He needs to relax sometimes, like in Explosive Barrel streams. The chats are fun. I think he's done. He did his finals like a week or so ago. I mean, I don't know his life, so he might be busy with some really like, serious stuff. But until proven otherwise, he's wasting. He's just fucking around, not paying attention to me, which is unacceptable, really, if you think about it. No, I fucking adore Scouty. Scouty's one of my favourite people. King must be savage at times. My support for Explosive is savage. Have you called? Can you also clip me saying that I love Scouty? That I do genuinely love his streams and love him as a person. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel bad. Or should I like try and repress the guilt? Maybe it's the fighting game music. It's too intense. It's got into my head, man. Like, I'm just up for a fight now. Like, the adrenaline's pumping. I'm gonna have to, at the end of the stream, I'm gonna have to log off. I'm gonna go re-download Tekken. I'm gonna smack the shit out of Yoshimitsu for a couple of rounds. But yeah, I'll look to getting some Tekken on stream soon. Depending on what my weekend looks like, maybe we'll try on some Sunday. I don't think I've got much planned for Sunday. But we'll see. That's quite a quick turnaround, I know. Bring the Russian on us. But actually, one thing I do need to do this weekend is talk to Udon, as he's very kindly offered to help with the Discord. Absolutely going to be trying to get some words out of Udon. Some words of wisdom. Barrel backpedals hard. Chewie, you son of a bitch. I'm not above backpedaling when it appeals to me most. Sans, no worries. Have a good sleep, my dude. Words shall be imparted. A barrel goes whichever way the train follows. Yeah, have you never played Donkey Kong? The barrel goes wherever the slant goes. Right, actually, on that note, it is almost 10 o'clock, which is my bedtime, as I am an old man before my years. I need to don my flat cap, my slippers, get my pipe, roll up my newspaper, and head out. So, I have a question that I like to pose to people in the chat when I am looking to wrap up. Shall we raid a friend, or make a new one? Shall we raid someone that we don't know? What are people thinking? Because I like splitting up the finding. Raid a little streamer. All right. Make a new friend. All right. Let's We're doing drawings and artwork, so we'll find another little artist, shall we? So we've actually done a hell of a lot on our little man today. Official evade. If you're gonna suggest someone specific, there is a channel point reward. He's a musician, if that counts. Oh wait, 9. Ah, he's climbing up. He's too big, man. He's rivaling us. Let's see. Art. Who is sat at no viewers or close to? Because it's gonna be artwork that I identify with. Stuff that I like. Who's looking underappreciated? There's a lot of anime boobs being drawn on Twitch today. There's a lot. Lot of big ol' anime boobies. Okay, there's someone. There is someone streaming. Your hot mess BMX barista is live. BMX Shark Art. Who are you? I like what she's doing so far. Oh, Chewie, you've actually done the raid. Okay, cool. I will, in any case, TV. I've said a name out loud anyway. So that's who I was thinking, but Chewie is going for Celeste. Let's raid Celeste then. Start the raid. It sounds like a good problem to have. There's so many boobs being drawn on Twitch, guys. You have no idea. I am missing a trick. Like, for sure. I could have double the followers in a heartbeat if I start drawing boobies. No, I respect you helping out a friend. But dudes, I will see you guys on Thursday for Okami, and then Saturday for Darkest Dungeon. Obviously the Discord is live. By all means, root around, start messaging each other, and give me some feedback on what you want to see, what it's looking like. I'm willing to tear it apart to put it back together in a moment's notice. Keon, I am going to be drawing boobs when I get to 250 follows. I'm doing the hot tub stream. It'll be a dwarven sauna experience. I'll let your mind run a wander. But yes, dudes, thank you so much. And I'll see you all soon.